At one time, only warriors were allowed to actually do this style of dance. You had to be in a warrior society, a war society, to be able to have the right to go and dance with other veterans. Of course, nowadays, today, our young ones are allowed to be able to do this style of dance as a way of honoring our veterans. So we like to start off with this style of dance as a way of honoring our veterans past and present today. Now, like I was saying before, Native American people have been involved in every single American conflict to this day. Whether we were fighting against the United States or fighting with the United States, Native people have always been a part of those battles. Every single one. Native people have been a part of those skirmishes. So we hold our warriors and our veterans in such high regards. As a matter of fact, if you were to go to a powwow, a very big powwow, even a small powwow, we have what is known as a grand entry. In that grand entry, we always dance in our eagle staff, followed by our American flag, Canadian flag, and POW MIA flag as a way of honoring those things. Right after that grand entry, we have a prayer, and then after that prayer, we have a flag song to honor the flags and our eagle staff, and then after that, we have a veterans honor song where we invite all veterans to come in to be honored. And it doesn't matter, what race you are, what religion you are, anything like that. What matters is that that you made that sacrifice, that you put yourself on the line, for the people here in this country. So no matter who you are, we always invite you to come in to be honored, and we do that at every single powwow in North America. And I'm not sure if people know that or understand that or not, but that's true. We do that at every single powwow, and a lot of people sometimes, they'll ask me and they'll say, well, this country has done so much, to Native people. Why would you ever, honor those things, And I always say, that Native people, this is our home too, So that's the reason why, we go and fight for the country. That's because our families are here too. Our generations are here, embedded in Turtle Island in North America right here today. And we have a long-lasting history of those things. As a matter of fact, Native peoples only make up for 1.9% of the population in North America. I'm sure that number's gone down just a little bit here in the past couple of years. But in 2021, Native peoples only made up for 1.9% of the population in North America, or actually in the United States. Within that 1.9%, there's a huge majority of percentile of Native peoples that join the military forces. Even today, we still have the highest rate out of any race to join the military forces, even with our 1.9. So as Native people, we're very proud of those things. We're very proud to be able to go and off and to be able to join the military, and a lot of our peoples do. So this is the reason why we have our veterans dances at our powwows today, as a way of honoring. Now, if you look at his regalia, there are some things that are very modern, there's some things that are very, very old. If you were to kind of pinpoint each different things that he is wearing in his regalia, you would see and you would notice certain things from the past and certain things from, now in a present time. Now, if you notice that he does have a bone breastplate that he wears in the front of his regalia, that's a representation of one of his relatives or ancestors from a long time ago wearing that sense of body armor. A long time ago, Native peoples would ride into combat with those bone breastplates over their chests as a way of protecting themselves. Of course, they would never really work against bullet fire, but through arrows and spear, those things might actually save your life. So we actually wear these things as a way of representing those things a long time ago. He has in one hand an eagle fan, and on the other hand, he has what is known as a war club or even a acoustic that he dances with. Something that they would ride into battle with using that. A lot of people don't understand the actual meaning of counting coup on an enemy. It was an old, very old tradition that warriors did as a way of earning things. It was a way of earning certain titles, but it was also a way of sparing an enemy's life. Some warriors really did believe that going into combat and sparing an enemy, riding by them on horseback and touching them with their acoustic would spare an enemy's life. But it was also a remind that other warrior that I could have taken your life. So these things actually happen in combat, and we still actually carry on those traditions, even today through dancing, through dance form. So this is kind of where this dance has come from as well, too. This is also a storytelling dance. As we sing this song from, you'll notice that he'll actually dance to this style of song, but he's also looking down the tracks for the enemy. He's also looking off in the distance to see if he can't see the enemy. All the different things that he does in this style of dance is telling his own story. So each one of these dancers have their own unique story. Now, he does have fully eagle feathers on his headdress and on his bustle. A long time ago, these warriors would have to actually earn each one of those feathers. It's a common misconception that native peoples, you see them with headdresses on, with beautiful eagle feathers, fully headdress bonnet, eagle feathers, and that you automatically think, well, that's a chief. That's somebody that's of high importance. That's a chief. But that sometimes wasn't necessarily true. Sometimes these warriors had to earn each one of those feathers, and earning them a long time ago through combat was the most common way that you could do those things. So each one of those was almost like a stripe on his chest that you would see. And I always like to point out that this is one of the reasons why you're not going to see any one of us wearing headdresses like that. There's a lot of things that people see on TV and about things that are being okay and things that are not okay with Native American headdresses. And I don't know if you notice, associates them with certain teams, NFL teams or baseball teams or something like that. But the thing is understanding what these things represent to Native American tribes. The diversity within the culture. There's over 500 tribes in North America today. Today, over 500 tribes. They're all different. They all speak their own language, and they all have their own cultural way of doing things. Not all Native peoples live in teepees. Not all Native peoples wear war bonnets. Only certain tribes wore those war bonnets. But each one of those tribes, you had to earn those things through combat. So it's a very, very touchy thing. I wouldn't expect anybody in the public for Halloween to dress up with a Congressional Medal of Honor on his chest, or a Purple Heart, or a Bronze Star, because that's disrespectful. You're disrespecting the veterans that actually had to sacrifice to actually get those things. It's not common to get those things. Just like our native people, it's not common to get a war bonnet. So ladies and gentlemen, there are many different things within his regalia that represent who he is as a native dancer, or represent some of his family from a long time ago, and especially the Plains nomadic tribes that did this style of dance. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give him a round of applause. This is his version of the men's Northern traditional.